Must watch. If she tells you these 7 things, leave her immediately. Modern Stoic. Some things a woman might say can tell you everything you need to know about her, and more importantly, how little respect she has for you. It's easy to overlook or rationalize her words, but when these phrases are spoken, it's already too late. The respect is gone, and the truth is revealed. Your best move is clear walk away and keep your self-respect intact. Welcome back to the channel, where we speak the truth. No sugar, coating, no pretending. If you're a man who refuses to tolerate disrespect or manipulation in today's dating world, you're in the right place. Let's break down an important reality. Words can be powerful. A woman doesn't need to cheat on you, vanish for weeks, or blatantly betray your trust to show her true nature. Sometimes it's just a single sentence, a simple phrase, and suddenly everything becomes clear. In that moment, you'll realize that she doesn't see you as a partner. She sees you as an accessory, a stepping stone, or worse, someone to use until the novelty wears off. This isn't about bitterness or hate, it's about awareness. Many men spend years trying to fix relationships that are already beyond repair because they refuse to accept the signs right in front of them. These signs are there. You just have to listen. Today, we'll examine 7 critical phrases that should make you walk away immediately. These are more than just words. They're signals that she doesn't see you in the way you deserve. You'll learn exactly what these statements mean, why they're toxic, and how leaving is not just a choice, but the most empowering action you can take for your own well-being. Stay tuned. Your journey towards healthier, more self-respecting relationships begins now. 1. I don't need a man. When a woman looks you in the eye and says, I don't need a man, pay close attention. Beneath the surface, this isn't just about her independence. It's a power play, a subtle assertion of control. She wants you to know that you're expendable, that your role in her life is optional, and that she can thrive without you. While it might sound empowering or modern, what she's truly communicating is that you're not valuable to her. Don't mistake this for a temporary outburst or a simple disagreement. This is a clear signal, and you must understand it for what it is. A modern Stoic knows when to take action. There's a fine line between a woman being independent and her being disrespectful. Independence is admirable when she's managing her life, working, and standing on her own feet. That's fine. But when she looks you dead in the eye and declares, I don't need a man, especially in the middle of a fight or argument, it's not just a statement about her self-sufficiency. It's a declaration that your role in her world isn't necessary. Your leadership, your protection, and even your love are replaceable in her eyes. This is where many men get it wrong. They think she's just being emotional or overreacting. But that's not it. This is her mindset, her philosophy. And it's not one that's compatible with a partnership. That woman is not interested in building something together. She's interested in competing with you. She wants to control the dynamic. And if you don't understand this, you're walking into a game you'll never win. Think of Marcus, for instance. He was in a relationship with a woman who constantly reminded him that she didn't need him. Every disagreement, every conflict was punctuated with the same mantra, I don't need a man to be happy. At first, Marcus thought it was just a sign of her strong-willed nature. He tried harder, more gifts, more attention, more romantic gestures. But the more he gave, the colder she became. Why? Because she didn't respect him. She didn't value him. She saw him as someone simply trying to prove his worth. Eventually, she left, and her parting words were, You tried too hard for someone I didn't even need. Painful, absolutely. But the truth often is. And here's the reality. When a woman truly values you, she doesn't make you feel like you're disposable or insignificant. She might be independent, yes, but she doesn't wield that independence as a weapon to diminish you. That's the essence of the old Stoic approach, understanding that respect is the foundation of any relationship. If you're hearing, I don't need a man, understand that it's not just a fleeting phrase, it's her worldview, her entire outlook on relationships, and it has nothing to do with you. In her eyes, you are not a partner, not a protector, not an ally. You are a mere placeholder, someone filling a spot until something or someone else comes along. This is when you must take the most critical step as a modern Stoic: walk away. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Leave immediately, because this is a mindset that will only hold you back. The blessing of Stoicism lies in knowing when to detach, when to step away from a situation that diminishes your worth, and when to preserve your energy for something or someone that truly values you. 2. You're too nice. Men. Let's get real for a moment. You might have heard it before, maybe even cringed when it was said, "You're too nice." At first glance, this might sound like a compliment, a gentle remark, but here's the truth. It's anything but. When a woman says, "You're too nice," what she's really saying is, "I don't feel anything for you." And let's face it, that's the kind of statement that can punch a hole straight through your ego. What's really happening here? You've been taught that kindness is key to winning hearts. After all, in other aspects of life, being polite, considerate, and generous is what people appreciate. But in the realm of attraction, it's a different game entirely. When a woman tells you you're too nice, it's a sign that something is missing. You've made her comfortable, but not alive. There's no edge, no intrigue, no mystery. There's no masculine tension that draws her in. In essence, you're just too predictable. You've become a good guy without the spark, without the challenge. She may appreciate your kindness, but it's not lighting any fires. Why niece isn't enough. A woman doesn't want a man who's always available at her beck and call. That's not strength, it's weakness. Women, whether they realize it or not, are wired to seek out men who embody stoic qualities. She wants a man who stands firm in who he is, who has standards, and who isn't afraid to challenge her on a deeper level. When you're too nice, you might be making it easy for her, but you're not making it interesting. A woman might not know exactly why she's pulling away, but deep down, she feels the absence of a masculine presence that commands respect. She doesn't want a man who's trying to win her over at any cost. She wants a man who stands his ground, who has a sense of purpose, and who isn't afraid to push back. This is where Stoicism comes into play. Stoic lessons teach us to stand tall in the face of adversity, to embrace challenges, and to stay grounded no matter what. A Stoic man doesn't chase approval. He understands his value without needing validation from others. He lives by his principles and doesn't bend to the whims of others, especially not when it compromises his integrity or his sense of self. When you stop living for approval, something incredible happens. Your presence becomes magnetic. You become someone who isn't afraid to say no, someone who challenges her intellectually and emotionally. That's what makes you intriguing. That's what makes her want to be with you. The secret of not being too nice. Let me be clear, this doesn't mean you should be rude, mean, or cold. Kindness is still important, but it must come from a place of strength, not desperation. Don't let your kindness become your crutch. Being kind is a Stoic virtue, but it must be paired with boundaries. Don't let yourself be too available. Don't make her feel like she already has you in the palm of her hand. What a woman is really testing when she says you're too nice is whether you're strong enough to stand your ground. She's looking to see if you'll bend to her emotions or whether you'll maintain your emotional stability and composure. Women, often unknowingly, test men to understand if they can respect them in the long run. If you crumble under the slightest pressure, it sends a clear message: you're not a man who has mastered his emotions. And respect, well, that's something that will quickly fade away. So, next time she says, "You're too nice," don't view it as a personal attack. View it as a wake-up call. This is your moment to rise up and embrace the Stoic life. Stand firm in who you are. Know that you are enough just as you are. Don't go searching for her approval. Command respect. And remember that real attraction isn't about being a yes man or doing everything to please her. It's about being a man who is sure of himself, who stands tall, and who is always true to his values. Remember, in every area of life, kindness matters, but in attraction, strength and presence matter more. Don't let your kindness become your weakness. Be a man who embodies Stoic virtues, who stands firm in his identity, and who doesn't shrink away from challenges. Be the man who commands respect by simply being yourself. And when she tells you you're too nice, you'll know exactly what to do. Because you're not just a nice guy, you're a man who is worthy of her respect and admiration. If you've heard a woman say, "You're too nice," take it as a wake-up call, not a compliment. It means you're missing the edge that commands respect and attraction. Stand firm in your values. Don't bend to every whim. And never let your kindness turn into a weakness. If you agree with this, drop a comment right now. I stand strong in my presence. Like this video. Subscribe for more unshakable wisdom. And remind yourself daily, confidence is built through challenge, not comfort. 3. My ex was better. The moment a woman says, "My ex was better," it's not just an offhand remark, it's a deliberate emotional attack. This statement is a stark violation of respect and a subtle manipulation that aims to destabilize you. If she's truly moved on, if she's genuinely interested in building something with you, then there's no room for her past to interfere with your present. The fact that she compares you to someone she's left behind says everything about how she sees you, not as a unique, irreplaceable partner, but as someone who's only as valuable as her ex. You must see this for what it is, an emotional sabotage tactic. Women know exactly what they're doing when they mention an ex. They aren't just reminiscing. They're trying to undermine your confidence. They're planting seeds of doubt, hoping you'll second-guess yourself, hoping you'll scramble to prove that you're better than the ghost of a man who is irrelevant to your future. But let's be clear. You're not in competition with some guy who isn't even in her life anymore. If she's still emotionally tied to him, she should never be with you in the first place. She's not looking for a relationship. She's looking for control. In this dynamic, power is the prize. The more you react, the more you try to prove your worth, the more power you hand over. This is how manipulation works. She's not just testing your patience, she's testing your strength. The more you fight to outdo her ex, the more she knows she can control you. The moment she realizes she can make you feel small and question your worth by bringing up another man, she will use it again and again. A woman who truly respects you will never drag up her past to belittle you. She won't weaponize the memory of a former lover to tear you down. She will be present with you, valuing what you bring to the relationship, not comparing you to someone who no longer matters. This isn't just about respect, it's about self-worth. Marcus Aurelius, a master of Stoic principles, often reminded us that we control how we respond to the world, but we cannot let the world control our emotions. You must not accept this kind of disrespect. Stoic principles teach us to remain calm and unshaken in the face of adversity, not to react impulsively or let others dictate how we feel about ourselves. A real man, one who embodies the strength and calm of a Stoic, will walk away from situations like this. Don't beg, don't plead, don't try to prove you're better than her ex. Just walk away. The moment you accept that treatment, you lose your dignity, you lose your self-respect, you lose your place as the man in the relationship. This is your life. Don't let someone play games with your emotions. Stand firm in who you are. Be strong, be stoic, be decisive. Don't let another man's shadow dim your light. You are your own man, and no comparison can change that. The great Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, put it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Take control of your reaction and step away. Your time is too valuable. A woman who respects you will never put you in a situation where you feel like you're competing with her past. If she does, you must act decisively and move on, because true strength lies in knowing when to walk away. That is the Stoic way. 4. You're lucky to have me. When a woman says, "You're lucky to have me," Don't fool yourself into thinking she's offering you gratitude or acknowledging the strength of your bond. She's not. She's asserting dominance, trying to position herself as the prize, and you as the one fortunate enough to be in her presence. This dynamic is toxic and dangerous, especially for a man committed to maintaining his own self, respect, and dignity. Let's get something straight. Relationships should never be about power struggles or status rankings. They should be built on the foundation of mutual value, respect, and investment. The moment one person begins to feel superior, the balance is shattered, and that's a place no man should ever willingly stay. A woman telling you, "You're lucky to have me," is sending a message that she views herself as above you, and you as just another pawn in her game. Now, let's flip the script. Can you imagine a man saying to a woman, "You're lucky to have me"? He'd be labelled arrogant, condescending, or downright disrespectful. And rightfully so. Yet, somehow, many men accept it when the same words come from a woman. It's absurd, right? This phrase often surfaces when a woman senses she has power over you. Maybe you've been trying too hard, constantly chasing her approval, putting her on a pedestal while neglecting your own worth. She feels this and exploits it, subtly shifting the dynamic so that she appears to be doing you a favour by sticking around. Don't let her. You must understand this. You bring value too. Your time, your energy, your leadership, your protection. These are irreplaceable gifts that hold tremendous weight. You're not some random guy lucky enough to be in her orbit. You're a modern Stoic, grounded in your own self-worth, your life enriched by the blessing of Stoicism. If she doesn't see that, if she can't recognize your value, she doesn't deserve you. It's a simple truth. Don't let her manipulate you into thinking otherwise. When she drops the "you're lucky to have me" line, she's testing you. She wants to know if you'll accept her false narrative and internalize it. If you silently agree, you give her power over your thoughts, your actions, and your emotional state. Suddenly, you're mentally boxed in, and she can withhold affection, play mind games, or issue demands without consequence. But you must not fall into this trap. As an old Stoic would advise, be mindful of who you allow to define your worth. You must stand firm in your own value, never letting anyone diminish it. If you find yourself in this situation, remember the modern Stoic principle: don't tolerate any form of disrespect or superiority complex in your relationship. A relationship is not a game of winners and losers. It is a partnership of equals, where both people add value, where mutual respect and appreciation are the currency. Don't ever forget that. If she can't see your value or tries to manipulate you into believing you're lucky to have her, it's time to walk away. The blessing of Stoicism teaches us that our worth doesn't depend on another person's approval, and no one has the right to undermine that. Be strong. Be self-assured. You are not just someone fortunate to be with her. She should feel lucky to be with you. If you've ever heard this phrase and felt it hit you, don't ignore it. Realize your worth and never settle for a relationship built on imbalance. If a woman tells you, "You're lucky to have me," recognize it as a red flag and walk away. Comment below, "I bring value too," if you're ready to stand strong and demand mutual respect in your relationships. Like, share, and subscribe for more powerful insights. 5. I can do better. The moment she tells you, "I can do better," the game changes. This isn't just a flippant remark or a spur-of-the-moment outburst. It's a revelation, a loud and clear declaration of how she sees you, how she views your place in her life. You may try to brush it off as her being angry or frustrated, but this statement is far more than that. It's a dagger aimed at your worth. It's not just a passing comment. It's a sign that you're no longer the man she respects, admires, or, more importantly, values. To her, you're no longer the hero in her life story. You're the sidekick, the placeholder, and at best, the temporary companion until someone better comes along. Let me be clear when a woman says, "I can do better." She's laying out the terms of her emotional exit strategy. You're just a stopgap, a filler, a for-now person. She might have once seen you as someone special, but now you've become a safety net in case she doesn't find something better. If you're practicing Stoicism, then you understand this. You must never tolerate disrespect. A Stoic life is one that values integrity, self, worth, and emotional independence. Allowing someone to make you feel like you are replaceable is a betrayal to your own principles. What does this say about her? Imagine being the man who hears this from someone you love. It feels like an attack on your soul, doesn't it? But here's the harsh truth. A woman who truly values you, who truly respects you, would never even think of saying this. Not in a conflict, not in a moment of frustration, not even when things go wrong. Why? Because a woman who respects a man understands that words have power. When you respect someone, you guard their dignity, especially in tough times. But I can do better. That's not just careless talk. It's an insult that chips away at your essence. It's not an expression of hurt. It's a calculated move in psychological warfare. Here's where the Stoic lessons come into play. Stoicism teaches us to accept reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. When a woman says this, it's time to face reality. Don't get emotional or defensive. Don't beg, plead, or attempt to prove your worth. Don't let the situation dictate your reaction. Be strong enough to accept the situation, not to cling to what was. Realizing that you deserve more than being someone's second choice is a fundamental Stoic lesson. Self, respect, and emotional fortitude are critical here. It's easy to downplay or excuse hurtful words when you're emotionally invested. Many men hear these words and think, she didn't mean it. She was just angry. But here's the truth, she meant it. She's testing you. She wants to see if you will beg, fight, apologize, or try to convince her that you're the man she needs. But in doing so, you lose. Not because you failed to convince her, but because you've just shown her that you don't know your own worth. To those practicing Stoicism, this is where the lesson comes in. A Stoic life demands that you maintain control over your emotions, particularly in moments of provocation. Don't lose yourself in her manipulative test. If she genuinely saw you as the man she wanted, I can do better would never leave her lips. Real-life example, Jason's wake-up call. Consider the story of Jason, a man who lived through this scenario. He'd been dating his girlfriend for a year. Things were good at first, but over time, she started distancing herself, becoming increasingly critical. One night, during a small argument over weekend plans, she snapped and said, "Honestly, I feel like I can do better than this." Jason was taken aback, but thought to himself, she's probably just angry, so he brushed it off. But after that, her behaviour became colder. She stopped making an effort. She flirted with other guys openly. Within a month, she was gone, already talking to someone new. Jason realised too late that when she said, "I can do better," she wasn't testing him. She was revealing the truth, and Jason ignored it, hoping the problem would go away. Here's the Stoic lesson. You must listen to the words people say, not just the feelings they express. In moments of conflict, a woman may reveal more than she intends. If her words cut to the core of your self-worth, don't hesitate. Leave. You owe it to yourself to never tolerate someone who devalues you. Here's the most important piece of advice I can give when a woman tells you, "I can do better." Take it seriously. Don't argue. Don't beg. Don't try to prove yourself. Just walk away. Be strong enough to walk away, because a Stoic life is built on the foundation of self, respect, and inner peace. You deserve someone who sees you as the prize, not as someone who might just be an upgrade in the future. 6. You're not a real man. When a woman tells you, "You're not a real man," it's not just an attack on your behaviour, it's an assault on your identity. This is the ultimate disrespect, the kind that cuts deep and tries to break your very sense of self. No man should ever tolerate this kind of verbal assault. The message behind it is clear. She's trying to tear you down, break your confidence, and make you question your worth. And you know what? That's something you don't allow. When society already pressures you to be the man you're supposed to be, don't let anyone, especially a woman, try to redefine that for you. It's a low blow, a manipulative tactic designed to strip away your power. It's not a truthful statement. It's a weapon used to control, to twist you into submission. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This applies directly to the situation. When she hits you with, "You're not a real man," her words aren't meant to build you up. They're meant to break you. They're designed to make you question who you are, to plant seeds of insecurity in your mind. The Stoic principles teach us to remain unfazed by such attempts. We don't need the approval of others, especially not from someone who disrespects us to this extent. A man who truly knows his worth doesn't need to prove it, especially not to someone who seeks to manipulate him. It's essential to recognize that this kind of statement typically arises from anger, frustration, or an attempt at control. Maybe you set a boundary, refused to comply with her expectations, or simply stood your ground. Instead of respecting that, she resorts to attacking your masculinity. Why? Because it's a power play. It's a deliberate tactic to weaken your resolve, to make you doubt yourself, to break your frame. And many men fall for it, desperately trying to prove their worth by overcompensating or engaging in pointless arguments. Don't be one of them. This is a mistake. Overcompensation will never win the battle for yourself. Respect. You must remember this real masculinity is about owning who you are. It's about understanding your own value without needing others to validate it. Real strength comes from within. It doesn't need to be shouted out loud. The moment she crosses that line with those words, it's a clear sign of disrespect, a sign that the balance in the relationship is already shifting. Once a woman starts looking down on you, the relationship is already over, whether you admit it or not. Respect is the foundation of any relationship, and once it's lost, so is everything else. Attraction fades, manipulation takes over, and the real connection is gone. As a man, you must respond with decisiveness. Don't argue. Don't defend yourself. Don't allow her words to plant doubt in your mind. Recognize that this isn't about you proving anything. It's about her trying to undermine you. The Stoic principle of controlling your reaction is crucial here. You decide how to respond. Don't let her reshape your sense of self. Instead, walk away. The moment you let go of the need to prove your worth, you regain your power. Stoicism teaches us that we control only our actions and thoughts. If you know who you are, no one else can define that for you. Take charge of your own life. Keep your self-respect intact. If a woman tries to strip you of that respect, let her go. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away, said Marcus Aurelius. Keep your dignity, your masculinity, and your sense of self. Those things cannot be bought, sold, or taken from you unless you let them. So, don't let anyone, especially a woman who tries to manipulate or control you, convince you otherwise. Stay true to your Stoic principles. Understand your worth, and when she crosses the line, walk away without hesitation. If this message spoke to your heart today, leave a comment about faith. I am a high-value man. 7. Maybe we should take a break. When a woman says, "Maybe we should take a break," don't fool yourself into thinking it's about reflection or giving each other some space. What she's really saying is, "I'm already halfway out the door, but I'm leaving myself the option to come back." There's no such thing as taking a break in a healthy, committed relationship. It's not a time for healing or clarity. It's a soft breakup with a safety net. The worst part, too many men let it slide without question, hoping for the best. Don't be that guy. Understand this. If she respects you, she won't ask for space. She'll ask for a solution. She'll want to fix things, talk it through, and move forward. She won't run off to see if the grass is greener elsewhere, because that's all a break is her opportunity to entertain other options without the guilt of being fully committed to someone else. This is where many men get it wrong. When she says, maybe we need a break, instead of challenging that thought or asking why she feels that way, you agree. You think that giving her space shows maturity. You wait. You stay loyal, thinking patience will win her back. You send texts, keep in touch, and stay emotionally invested while she's out there receiving attention, validation, and potentially even intimacy from someone else. When she finally returns, you welcome her back with open arms like nothing happened. But let me make this crystal clear, that isn't patience. That's self-betrayal. You, as a modern Stoic, must never allow yourself to be put on pause like that. If she wants to walk away, let her. Don't beg. Don't wait around in some limbo, hoping she'll come to her senses. That's not strength, it's submission. The more you tolerate this, the more she'll know she can get away with it. You need to understand that taking a break is never about your needs. It's about her wanting to have it both ways, keeping you emotionally leashed while she explores her options. A woman who truly values you won't ask for distance. She will want clarity, not space. Here's where the blessing of Stoicism comes in. You, as an old Stoic, know that your worth isn't tied to waiting around in uncertainty. You know that your value is not up for negotiation or dependent on her whims. A real man doesn't stand by hoping someone will choose him when they're done testing the waters. A real man respects himself enough to walk away from anyone who doesn't see him as a priority. So, when she says, maybe we should take a break, don't fall for it. Don't wait for her to come back to you when she's tired of exploring other options. Tell her what you need. Either she chooses you fully, or she doesn't. And if she doesn't, don't chase her. Be the man who never settles for being someone's backup plan. Be the man who walks away with dignity, knowing that you deserve someone who is all in, not someone who leaves the door open for escape. You must respect yourself enough to know your worth, no matter what. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and comment below. This isn't just about watching content. It's about starting a conversation and taking control of your life. If you've ever found yourself tolerating disrespect, this is the time to stand up for yourself and demand the respect you deserve. I challenge you to reflect on this message and take action. Remember, I deserve respect and I will no longer tolerate disrespect. I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a situation where you tolerated emotional disrespect? What was said? How did you respond? And what would you do differently if you could go back? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this dialogue going. This is a space for growth, not just comfort. Subscribe to this channel for more insight, and let's work together to become the men we are truly meant to be. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.